Hi Ben, hello Jack. You asked me for a tutorial on a mob farm. So here we are. This mob farm is based on a design that Etho showed in one of his videos a long time ago. He has it in his single player world. It's the one above the stronghold. He's got his base. I'm getting good spawning rates in here because this is a super flat world with the whole surface covered in half slabs, so there's nowhere in this world for the mobs to spawn except in the mob farm. Now this is very important, I can't repeat it often enough. If you have anywhere else for the mobs to spawn, if you haven't lit up all the caves underground, you will not get this sort of spawn rate. Anyway, enough lectures. Let's see how we build it. First of all, you've got to decide where you want the mobs to land. I'm only going to do a very basic collection system here. So we're going to have a chest with a hopper on top of it. Now, from there, we need to build up 24 blocks at least. I'm going to do this in glass. If you were doing it in survival, the best way to do it would be to have 24 blocks on your bar and to just jump stack up where you know how high you've got to. Here I'm just going to count them up, so 21, 22, 23, and the last one at the top is that one. Right, I'll fill that in to make a tube. Right, now from the centre we need to build out 8 blocks in each direction. Okay, I'll do that on all 4 sides. Okay, now in each of these corners we need to build a 3x3 platform and take it up 2 blocks. Like that. Then leave a gap and make another 3x3 platform here. And build that up 2 blocks. And then another one here. And again build it up 3 blocks. Those are going to be your spawning platforms on the top of those. Now, in between, you need to fill in on the bottom layer only, just out between them like that. Okay, and we're going to need to do that on the other 3 corners as well. Okay, now at these corners, we need to put walls up either side like that, and on the ends of these original 4 straight arms we need again to put walls up like this. Don't actually need this 8th one out here, but I put it there just to support the or to give me somewhere to put the blocks basically. So again, on each of those we do that, each of those like that. And on the 4th one as well. Right, those are going to be water channels, and if we've done it right, what we should be able to do is put 1 water source block in each of those at the end of each of those channels and one in each of these corners, and they should all flow nice and smoothly into the centre, but not flow down through the hole. You can see they're just all coming straight through into the middle there, and there's no quiet spots where mobs can get stuck. Right, now to prevent spiders spawning on here, we're going to place a slab in the centre of each of these spawning pads. That leaves us with 96 spawning spaces, and just to make it a nice round 100, we're going to add an extra spawning pad in each of these 4 corners at the end of each of the lines. Now, we could just build walls up all the way round, but in order to give us as many air spaces around the spawning pads as possible, I'm actually going to skip 1 block. So we're going to now come up 2 blocks, and we're going to build an outline all the way round. Oh, can't do that. You can actually go across this corner, it doesn't matter. Go across like that. There we are. That's just to stop the mobs from wandering off the edges. Right, now if you look, apart from this corner here, it should have exactly the same shape inside as we have for the spawning pads below. So what we do now is come up 1 more block, and we fill in above. There we are. Now if you look at that shape on the top, it is exactly the same as the shape of the platform we ended up with underneath. So the roof of this set of spawning spaces becomes the floor of the next one. So we start by coming in here in the corner and we build up our next lot of spawning pads. Like so, and then again we add the walls at the ends, like that, and the water, if you were building this in survival, it would be useful to actually place ice blocks in those 8 positions and break them, rather than trying to carry all the water up and down. And then we add the slabs to stop the spider spawns. So the extra blocks, the extra spawning spaces, and then we go around with the walls again. And then we'd continue by building the next layer on top of that as the roof of this one. And you repeat this as many times as you want to. I'm going to build it up another few layers. And there we are. I've built it up to 10 layers. Now for the roof of the whole thing, rather than just filling in the centre, we need to fill in the whole area plus 14 blocks in every direction to create enough shade from the skylight for the mobs to spawn inside. Again, if we'd filled in the walls completely round here, then we would not need this sunshade at the top, but it would reduce the spawning rate slightly. So I'm going to use half slabs on the top here so that we don't get any mobs spawning on the top. So first things first, I'm going to fill in over the top area. One thing I forgot to say specifically is that you obviously need to have the hole in the middle of each of these layers so that the mobs can fall all the way down to the bottom. Obviously you don't need that in the top. Right, now let me work this out. From each of these corners we need to count out 15 blocks. And the same in the other direction. That doesn't make sense. Hang on. No, not that one. And out from here, that should be. So I'll do that on each side. Like so. Right, then we need to come across here between each of the arms, and also we need to go diagonally across like this. And I'll do that all the way round. Okay, and then we need to fill in all this area within the outline that I've marked. Okay, there we are. Now, one thing I forgot when I was showing you this is that in order to stop the mobs spawning on the outside here, we need to put slabs all the way around on here. It's on every level. Also, to stop the spiders from spawning on this area, because they're only one tall, you need to put slabs around on here as well. And on those. Right, so I'll do that on all the levels and come back to you. Okay, and there we have it. I come down to the bottom. And switch to hard mode. See, I've already tested this. Within a few seconds we should have mobs start falling down from there. There we go. Fly up here, but stay within a few blocks of it. Get it just the right level. You'll be able to see, particularly at the bottom there, mobs moving around in the water and being pushed into the middle. There there should be mobs all the way up. Now, part of the problem with this sort of mob farm is that when mobs get more than 32 blocks away from you, they can become passive and they basically stop moving around. So once they stop walking around, there's no longer any chance that they'll fall down. So actually having loads of layers like this doesn't necessarily increase your spawn rate, because you end up with a lot of mobs up there which are not going to fall down, and they'll just hang around until they despawn. They will despawn eventually if they're more than 32 blocks away from you though. But as you can see, with super flat terrain and everything slabbed like this, you get fairly good spawn rates. Already got 25, 26, 27 gunpowder there. Don't appear to have any witches yet. You will occasionally get them though. As I have said before, and I can't repeat this enough, if you build this in a normal world rather than super flat like this, and you don't go and light up all the caves, you will not get this sort of spawn rate. You'll get virtually nothing out of it. You can see that they've started moving around in there now. Yeah, it's the only way that you'll get anything like this sort of spawn rate in a normally generated world is to make sure that you light up all the caves, and then if you want it to run at night as well, you'll have to light up all the surrounding area so that there's nowhere else for them to spawn. I don't know how you want your world to look, but having torch spam all over the surface is not my idea of fun. Well, yes. You will get occasional mobs like this witch. Don't know why she didn't die. That don't die when they fall down here. So you may want to leave a half block gap at some point here that you can attack them through. You'll also find with mobs that have armour on, they don't tend to die when they fall. So either, as I say, a slot in here for you to attack them through, or some sort of redstone crushing mechanism to kill them in here. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again next time. Bye bye.